guys, so crazy world. I know last night on High Impact Flicks, High Impact Vlogs, everybody was kind of wondering what would they really do if you disobeyed their orders. You know, the orders from the top. So, last night, a church here in Louisiana, the police showed up because they had 305 people at their service, and the pastor said, no, we're not leaving and we're going to continue to have service. And they were threatened with the National Guard. I'm not sure what occurred after that, but you know, we'll look at the article. But for anybody that was wondering, what are they really gonna do? Well, apparently, if you're at church on your own accord and know the risks you're taking, it doesn't matter. It's for the greater good of everyone. You know, being that there's so many cases of corona, so many, you realize there's only 27 cases per 1 million people here in the US. But wait, the numbers get oh so much better. Currently, we have 67 serious cases. 67, that's it, in a country of 350 million. But we can add that to the 150 that died. Sadly, they died. So that's 214? 214, again, out of a country of 350 million. Apparently people have forgotten how to do math and how minuscule such a number is. You know, even if 30,000 people died, that would be 0.0028% of the population. Yes, that's it. Should that happen? No. I don't even think it's gonna be 10. If it was 10,000, I mean, I'm not even gonna, the numbers are so minuscule. This is out of control. And if you were doubting whether this was part of the political left just being hysterical, let me show you how hysterical they're continuing to be, even though they see people freaking the crap out over nothing. Do y'all remember H1N1, the swine flu, where like 12,000 people died in 2009 or something? Yeah, 12,000. I think like 1 million maybe throughout the world. Okay, life went on. And on top of that, the people that are dying have, almost all of them, almost 100% have serious medical underlying conditions. Let me say that again. The people that have died in the US and Italy and some of the other ones, we don't know what happened in China, and we probably likely won't ever find out. But this is plain and simple outrageous. It's outrageous. For people who think that this is not an overreaction, I don't know what to say, because this is crazy. Again, let me ask you, why is my mail still running? If they're so concerned about all of this, and oh my gosh, it's so contagious, why is my mail still running? How are they gonna send us those checks to buy our freedom? Through the mail. Yeah, the mail that goes around the whole world before it comes to your house. You know, if you can order something from China, you can order something from Taiwan, you can order something from Australia, wherever, and then it's going to sit in a plane. Well, it's going to be on a truck, and then on a plane, and then probably on a different plane, and a few dozen people are going to touch it. It's going to touch a few thousand pieces of mail, and then it's going to come to your mailbox. But don't worry, it's okay. Well, I mean, if we went with the logic of how they're acting, oh my gosh, you're going to die. But with the logic, how's that really going? Because it will live on a surface, on a paper or cardboard, for at least 72 hours. That's CDC numbers. So how can they get us to believe one thing at the same time something ridiculous? This is not... What? Alright, so let's start here. If you don't think that this is a political sham job, let's see what MSNBC is up to. MSNBC legal analyst claims that Trump may have criminal exposure for negligent homicide. Yes, negligent homicide over the coronavirus. I'm not kidding, this is real life. This is how far gone they are. And this is what occurs when you stop using logic and use emotions. You turn into a crazy person. And it's quite ridiculous. I'm not going to go through it. I just wanted to show y'all how far they are going. Okay. And if we take a look at the numbers and the people that have died, it's pretty much everybody over 65. I mean, there's a couple people 50, 60 to 69, 70, 79, 80, and up to over 90 years old. And they also had up to half of them had 3 health conditions at the same time. And they did have 2 people or something under the age of 40, and they both had serious medical conditions before this occurred. And the same thing is going on here in the U.S. I think there were four of the 100 and something had actually they're over 90. I mean, this is just silly. But this is how many people. 50% have 3 or more illnesses here. This is here, right? 25. Is this one here or no? This one's Italy. Well, what was the other one? The other one must have been the U.S. I don't know. Either way, this is it's showing you how insane. Honestly, this is insane. Let's go ahead and get on to the church situation. So, Baton Rouge area pastor defied the governor, welcomes large gatherings into his church service. How dare him? How dare you? Louisiana National Guard says it has not been tasked with breaking up large gatherings in the state, including churches. But let's see what the police officers told them. The statement comes on the heels of a pastor in Louisiana church defying the government orders and welcoming in hundreds of people into his church service. On Tuesday evening, the gathering directly defied an order by Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards that bans groups larger than 50 from gathering at one time, including churches. President Trump has recommended no groups larger than 10. The pastor, Tony Spell, says police showed up at the church after their service, telling him that the National Guard would break up any further gatherings that exceeded 50 people. However, the Louisiana National Guard says no such thing is happening. So, it looks like the police are just trying to play their hand and see how much people will bow down to their nonsense. numerous churches across the state have canceled services until further notice because of the governor's proclamation. Yeah, and that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, going to church is not infecting anybody else. You all know what risk you're taking, and you go, or you don't. Nobody's forcing you to be there. This is insane to me. I mean, there are people in China that are Christians that have to hide in basements, 120-degree basements, to worship because it's communist. Is that what we're going to have to do now? Not only that, there's people, they have to meet on farms and whatever. I've shown a video of it where they worship for like 5 or 10 hours because they don't know when the next time they'll be able to do it. And that's how spoiled the U.S. is and how we take things for granted. This is so silly. So the pastor, the governor's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm Christian. Oh no, wait, he said I'm a person of faith. Anybody that says that is just, oh goodness, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, person of faith. I happen to believe very much in an awesome power of prayer. Well, then why would you say I'm a person of faith? Faith of what? U.S. Congressman Clay Higgins, a Republican from Louisiana, sent a letter to the governor last week saying he believes the limit on the size of church gatherings is unconstitutional. Exactly. Thank you, Congressman Higgins. I agree that all our constitutions, constituents and religious leaders should follow the recommendations of the CDC, Higgins wrote. However, their decision to gather should be their own choice. Exactly. As long as it's not a mandate by any government entity. Butting. Exactly. This is so ridiculous. Hopefully there will be some alternatives this church can use to congregate and pray. No, there is no alternative. Yeah, there's a lot of bad churches out there these days. I agree. I'm the first one to call them out. But going to actual service and talking to people, especially for elderly people, but for anybody, it regenerates you. It does more, like whenever it's not watching an online service. It should be reserved for actual emergencies. My gosh. Anyway, it's just like, is this who you're going to bow down to? This is really what you're bowing down to, and that's you. We want to encourage other religious leaders in our churches like us. Do not fear the persecution of any government official. Any dictator law prevent you from worshiping God, which our First Amendment states you are not allowed to do in any form. Exactly. Our church is a hospital for the sick where they can come get healed. I'm not going to read the rest. Yeah, this is crazy hysteria land. I mean, this is America. It's upsetting.